Bill is an incredible songwriter, musician, and vocalist. He has 2 records to his credit and a third one that will hopefully see the light of day sometime soon, especially if I have anything to do with it. Welcome back to another episode of the What Is Your Why podcast. I'm Ken Fox. I am currently joined by my good pal, Billy Freeman.
Hello, everybody.
This podcast is brought to you from the United States of America, and the content there within is protected under the First Amendment. So, Bill, how the fuck are you, man?
Dude, I'm doing it, just living life,
Doing the do.
I'm pretty much doing whatever I can,
Yep.
Working, playing a little bit every once in a while,
Yeah.
Not as much as I'd like to, but...
No, none of us are.
Yeah.
The man got us working.
Yeah, the man always bringing us down, corporate America,
Gotta love it.
Yeah, dude.
But hate it at the same time. I do.
I love working until
I do an outline of questions like I told
can't
you.
stand it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you gotta quit start from the bottom. And this one is not on my list of things that I wanted to talk about. But you want to tell us like a little bit about like where you're from and how you got here?
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah. I mean, I started off in Jersey. I was born in Morristown and moved to Florida for like a year when I was 1 year old. Came back to Boonton, New Jersey. I was there until 8 years old.
Oh shit.
And I liked the Jersey. We were kind of like in a suburb almost, so it was houses very close to one another, and like you go outside and there's always kids to play with. We moved up here to Milford, Pennsylvania, and like me and my sister right off the bat were like, where is everybody? I mean,
who took the kids?
Not just the kids, like where's the adults, where's the teenagers, where's everybody? Like we're in the middle of nowhere. The only thing we see is like one kid like walking down the street with like straw in his mouth. We're like, where did we move? What is this? We got fields in the back of our house. You know?
Culture shock, right?
Yeah. Like legit hay fields in the back of my house. Which was great. Like when I was young, we used to play like baseball and shit like that back there. Then somebody built a house back there and was like, oh well, you don't have that anymore. So. That kind of killed my childhood. Those people moving into the field in the backyard.
So you moved up to Milford when you were 8?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Dad had job opportunities and stuff like that. There were standard reasons why you move.
Right.
Like I don't think he was doing anything great in Jersey. Like waste management or some shit like that.
And it's expensive down in Jersey, depending on where you are. Anyway.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much it was back then or like the area or anything like that, but he started his own business when he came up here, so there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not mad because we moved here.
Sure.
Just
You adapted, but that is a funny way of describing it, because my feeling was the same exact way. I lived a couple miles from here when we moved, but total culture shock.
Yeah.
I mean, complete culture shock.
Oh, yeah.
I was the only guy that was listening to, like, Metallica records and Gangstar, hip hop.
Yeah.
And everybody else was like, don't know who the fuck that is, and stop playing the other thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Even the way people acted around here, like, it was such like a weird spectrum of like emotions in one person, because like the difference between like people being like friendly, like we would move up here and people would be like, oh hey, how you doing, but at the same time like they don't want anything to do with you.
Oh yeah.
Whereas like in Jersey, people are like, hey man, fuck you and your mother, but like if they see you need a hand, they'd be like, oh man, you and my neighbor, let me come over with a casserole dish. I don't even know my neighbors here. Lived here 23 years, I don't even know what they look like. They also live like 2 miles away from me, so like those are my neighbors. I mean, if I was in a horror movie, I would never make it to their house. And be running like, oh, guys that I don't know your names, I'm in trouble. So far away.
35 minutes later. So so jumping in, how many instruments do you play?
Well, I play guitar, I play the bass, and I mean, I mess around with a lot of things. Like I can't say I play piano, but I have played, notes on a piano.
Sure, yeah, right. Same.
Like I can't play the harmonica, but I have blown into a harmonica and made some like sounds that sounded kind of not too bad.
Awesome.
I tried violin, but I'm not even going to say that I made sounds. It just, I tried playing it, and the violin was just sounded like it was screaming in pain. So
that's a tough one.
That is a really tough one. Like you don't even realize it. You know, like you see somebody just like with the bow on the strings, and you're like, oh, that can't be that hard. But even like the angle and stuff like that changes the sound of it, and you got to have just like the right amount of pressure on it. And
it's an elegant instrument.
Yeah,
that's what I always felt about it.
Oh yeah, I would love to learn to play a violin at some point.
Yeah,
I
think I remember us talking about that like back in the day.
Oh yeah. I've been
actually there was a story behind that conversation that I do remember.
Yeah,
it was with a teacher that we both know, but and I used to work with her, and yeah, she knew you. She knew you from music, and I don't know if she ever joined you with anything, but you both knew each other. I'll probably have to edit this out later, but Ludmilla.
Oh yeah. I worked with her husband.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's
phenomenal,
fantastic too. Their son too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
They got their son. I mean, he's a kid, and
She posted a video of him on tearing it up, dude.
Oh yeah.
On Facebook.
He's got it.
Yeah, he's a fucking monster.
Yeah, he's still got practice, to do. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, better than anybody I've ever heard.
Right.
I mean, I've seen people tear up a violin.
Yeah.
I think I saw somebody when I was in high school doing it. They're just like in the gym auditorium. I forget if it was like, you used to have like activity days like in the summertime. You like go into the parachute, and stuff like that. I think they had like a kid just like playing violin somewhere, and he was tearing it the fuck apart. I remember just going to that station being like, well, this is what I'm doing. Everybody's throwing balls at each other, and water balloons, shit like that. I'm just sitting there like watching this, and he was like stomping and like just like performance. He's a performance type of person too. On top of being able to have
that's incredible. Yeah,
that level of like capability of playing. Being able to move around is showmanship, man. It can really enhance your performance even if you suck.
Absolutely, yeah. Attitude is 75% of it.
Oh yeah.
Really.
Yep. I mean,
that goes with everything. Every performance-based activity.
Yeah. Even if you got the technical skills, sometimes, just that little extra, making weird faces and stuff, that'll give you that, oh, I haven't seen this before. Yeah. Let's start following this guy around,
100%, man. That's so true. So, I just got back from Nashville. I'm holding one of the mugs that I bought. I went crazy and I bought like 3 or 4 mugs when I was down there. I gave them all out since then, except for that one. But,
yeah. Oh, that's dope though. I like it. Yeah, it's nice. It says Nashville on it.
Yeah.
Bunch of guitars.
Yeah. So like I was saying earlier, I'd never been to. It was the most beautiful, cleanest city I've ever been to. And I'm like 20 minutes out from New York City. That like where I grew up.
Yeah.
But everybody knows that the city's not that clean.
Yeah.
It's kind of a hassle to get around down there. You know that? But
New York? No. What are you talking about?
Yeah. But Nashville was gorgeous, and it was clean. It was so clean.
Yeah.
And we were down there, and I couldn't believe how the landscape looked. Everything was like green. Everything was bloomed. but it was like a green that I never seen before.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it must be something about the South that
they have
like
a little bit more respect for the earth and stuff.
Yep.
I mean, people should be like that, you know. Even here, this is like Nature County.
Yeah.
You know, you walk down the roads, there's trash.
Yeah.
You know, just trash.
Which is sad. Yeah. Like people shouldn't really. People shouldn't fuck around like that.
No. Well, the worst thing is when I'm driving and I see garbage in the road. Like, oh, you threw that out of your car because you're a piece of fucking shit.
Right.
You know?
You should have threw yourself out of the car.
Yeah.
Fucker.
You know, like, oh, I can't wait till I get home to throw this out. You know, it needs to be away from me right now. You know, this piece of plastic.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah. People are assholes.
In a nutshell.
I hate everyone except for you, Ken.
Yeah. Well, you know. You have your reasons. All right, so that question was that was like just something that I wanted to know. Now, here comes the real shit.
All right. Here it comes.
So, ever threw a TV out of the window?
I have not thrown a TV out of the window.
Would you like to?
Do you have one? Yeah, no hotel rooms getting destroyed under my supervision, nothing like that. I did have a air conditioner fall out of my window one time. Okay. You know, I caught it by the cord.
Did you?
I was actually pretty proud of myself because I was like, oh, and I pulled it back up by the cord. And I was like, oh, okay, I didn't think I could do that. It was still plugged into the wall too. I almost fucked up like everything.
Yeah.
I was trying to take it out, you know, by myself, and I just I didn't push down on the window hard enough or something. It just went bloop.
Yeah,
it was pretty bad.
Does it still work?
Probably not. This was fucking forever ago. You know, I think I was a teenager. You know, and part of me was like, oh shit, my parents are gonna kill me. You know, fucking up the house and their air conditioner.
Exactly.
You know?
The freaking light socket or whatever it is.
Torn
out of the wall. The air conditioner no longer works.
Yeah.
What's your morning routine like?
Oh, morning routine takes a long time. Like, I wake up and I'm not ready for like 2 hours, you know. Okay. I wake up and, you know, start the coffee. And I've actually been using a French press for coffee lately.
Nice.
That's my new love, which has re-sparked that passion for coffee that I had. I lost it for a little while. I wasn't drinking coffee, you know, for maybe like, I can't say a year, a few months, you know.
Really? That's interesting. Yeah. I do have a question about that too. But I was talking to somebody about you. I was talking to a friend, and I said, they were like, well, tell me a little bit about his background. Like, what is he into? And I was just talking about, like, your passions and stuff like that. And coffee was one of the things that I mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
Because anybody that knows you knows that, like, you love your coffee.
Dude, I used to house coffee.
Yeah.
Like
a pot.
Yeah. Dude, coffee all day long. That used to be my thing. You know, coffee and cigarettes, you know. Yep. But even now, like I said, I wake up the first 2 hours, coffee and cigarettes, you know, maybe a bowl here, you know, if I'm not working, you know. Days off are pretty much, you know, depends on what I'm doing that day, but, you know, I need to relax. I can't get up and go, man.
Right.
You know, it's just not, it's not in me, you know.
On an off day, what time would you say, like, it was normal for you to wake up and get things kicked off?
I try not to sleep too late, but I'm also up kind of late, so I mean, I usually go to bed like 2 or 3 o'clock, so I'm usually up like 9 or 10, you know, ready to go by like 12. You know. I mean, there is a lot of appeal to like being a morning person, but it's just not me. You know, I can't do it. I've tried to do it, and it is nice. It's nice waking up like even 8 o'clock, you know. 8 o'clock's probably like the earliest I will ever wake up.
Okay.
You know, that's the morning to me. 6 o'clock is still nighttime, you know?
Yeah. That's my normal.
Yeah. But get up at 8 o'clock, you can go do some exercise, you know, stuff like that. See, the mornings are good for like if you're in a healthy, happy lifestyle, you know, like, I mean,
I'm not happy, but I do try to stay healthy, and I am up early as shit every day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, like exercising and like eating good and shit like that does make you feel better than, than not doing it.
I can imagine what my life would be like if I didn't do those things and I was still as miserable as I am now. So, yeah, I wouldn't be doing this podcast with you.
Yeah, dude, you would be so much worse off. You wouldn't leave the house.
Yeah.
If you were just like, I mean, put on like 50 pounds and, sit around all day just watching TV, eating Cheetos, playing video games.
Yeah.
Shit, that's my life.
That's the good life.
Yeah. None of my pants fit me anymore. Like, that's a real life thing, like getting older, none of my pants fit. Like, and let me tell you, I have like 2 drawers full of pants. None of them fit. I got to get rid of all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, that is so true, because I still wear the same pant size that I did when I was in high school. Now, I'm not saying that to brag.
Oh, no. Well, you've always been, pretty in shape, I've never seen you as a fat Ken Fox,
Yeah. But, I absolutely noticed that your metabolism slows second you hit 30.
Oh, yeah.
The second. I think I woke up on my 30th birthday and I was just like, I noticed a little change.
Yeah.
There's something going on here.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, I got side fat all of a sudden.
Yeah. It comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Second question. This is a more serious one, but I am very interested in your response to this.
Okay.
Do you believe in aliens?
I do believe in aliens. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I believe in them in the sense of, big head, like the traditional alien thing, but I don't know what they would look like. I don't know what they would be, even if it was just, space germs, stuff like that. And like, what is an alien? It's just living, a living organism that's in a spot other than Earth. Yeah. So like, could be anything.
Yeah.
I totally believe it. There's no way. Like, with how big the universe is, I don't think any logical person could actually say, like, yeah, there's no aliens.
And then stand behind it, right?
Yeah, we're the only ones here. That's like, it's kind of, it's borderline ignorant when you think of that. There has to be another Earth somewhere. There has to be another place that has,
without a doubt, in my mind, without a doubt.
And even like, we try to think like, oh, what are the standards for living? Like, air and water and stuff like that. Like, you don't necessarily, know that life needs that. Our life needs that.
Right.
But, evolution and stuff like that, and things can live anywhere.
Yeah.
Everything wants to adapt to survive. So, if anything, I would say I'm surprised we haven't found anything yet.
Right.
We haven't had any like conclusive evidence that there's life outside of this planet.
Yeah.
But that could all be cover-up shit too. We could know about it. Government, getting into conspiracy theories and shit like that.
Well, but that's part of like the world that we live in. You know, and I researched a lot on my own, but there's people that have been asked this question, from politicians to Navy SEALs to the musicians and stuff like that, and you will get a yes from one out of every one of those groups.
Oh yeah.
So like, it's not that far-fetched of an idea.
No.
And you'd have to be an idiot to think that, we're the only Earth, we're the only, planet with, living beings.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, and it's such a like, you don't really know kind of thing. It's like ghosts, I believe in ghosts too.
Oh, absolutely.
I've never seen one, like, I'm not a religious person, so there's no real reason for me to really believe in ghosts.
Right.
But I believe in ghosts.
Yeah.
Like even just late night getting creeped out, out of nowhere.
You get a feeling. And you're a human being, which your senses have senses.
Yeah.
Like I do believe in intelligent design and stuff like that. And I believe that we have those feelings for a reason.
Yeah.
And I've had my own experiences with ghosts and stuff like that. So like that's something I could say, yeah,
Yeah.
You know, I definitely believe in that.
Yeah.
You know?
But I mean, and even that, like, if there's ghosts, then why wouldn't there be aliens? You know, like, I mean, I'm even like, man, there's probably Bigfoot out there. You know, like Loch Ness Monster. Like, not so much Loch Ness Monster, because I think that's pretty much been like, yeah, bro, that's a fucking piece of wood that somebody like took a picture of. You know, but like even that, the idea of it, like, you can't just like say nah.
Yeah.
You know, nobody knows everything.
No.
Even when you're presented with the facts aren't always the facts. You know. I
Absolutely.
mean, statistics and like somebody's writing that shit down, and they might not have all the answers. You know.
Yeah.
Nothing's set in stone, really.
You only know what you know. You know, and you only know how much experience you've had. You know, based on that topic.
You only know what you know until somebody else comes along and proves you wrong.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's basically science. You know, it's the whole entire thing. You know.
I've always been a big believer in like indisputable evidence. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I believe in a lot of everything. Personally, you know.
Yeah.
I believe in a God. I believe in a devil. I believe in ghosts. I believe in aliens. I believe, because I think at some point in my life there's been evidence of all these things.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, I could even say that myself. You know, like when I say like I'm not religious, it's not even like, you know, there's no God, there's no, you know, like, I feel a lot of people like get hostile about that. They're like, oh, you're an idiot because you believe in, you know, like, it's not like that, you know, nobody knows, you know, I'm not right. You might not be right.
No,
you know, like,
you cannot say, man, none of us are in that position where we've lived through those things, you know, like, I don't know anybody that's been dead and came back, you know? So, I don't have friends like that. I've living friends.
Yeah.
You know, but
even people that like, you know, like died and then came back, you know, like they were out for like a minute, you know, and then somebody resuscitated them.
Exactly.
You know, like even those experiences, you know, you can't just sit there and like people be like, oh, I saw hellfire and, you know, all this, you know, like you don't know what the brain does when you die.
You have no idea.
You know, those could just be your expectations that you're putting onto yourself. Actually, I saw, Kevin Smith was talking about his mom died and came back. Okay. And it was kind of nice because he said for her it was just every single responsibility that she had just went away. It just felt very freeing.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it kind of gave me a little perspective on like, because everybody's afraid of dying,
right?
You
of
know,
course.
But like maybe it's not the worst thing in the world, you know. Not that I'm like rushing towards it or anything like that, you know, but like
the sense of peace. I heard it described like that as well.
Because I mean, and that's something that cripples people, you know, that makes people not do things, you know. Like I'm not gonna do that because I'm afraid I'm gonna die.
Absolutely.
You know, like even eating healthy and stuff like that. You know, like I'm not gonna eat that burger. It's gonna fucking kill me. You know.
Yeah, I just had my little cousin Matt died in February.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, dude.
Drug overdose.
Terrible.
And at the funeral, my cousin was talking about how peaceful he looked. You know, when he was, you know, he was dressed and all that stuff after he had passed. But yeah, I don't know. It just struck me. Like, you know, but since then I kept hearing all these other stories of, you know, the same thing. Like, you know, I felt such peace, you know, they looked so peaceful, you know, at this moment. It's just it's an odd thing, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, your work's done.
Yeah.
You know, it's like coming home from work and going to bed.
Absolutely.
You know, you're done.
I agree, man.
You know,
I agree. And life is hard.
Yeah.
Life is very difficult. It's not designed to be cheap and easy. You know?
Yeah. I mean, if there's one thing that you can kind of think, it's like, well, that is, you know, you did your job. You know, it's like that'll do. You know.
Yeah.
So
the light goes out.
Yeah. So it is kind of like a calming, you know, thing that you're going towards. You know, like at some point, you know, everything will be. But like, I hope there's something else after that.
Yeah.
You know, I used to be like, that's the one thing that scares me. You know, not hell, not like becoming a ghost. It's nothing.
Right.
You know, just disappearing.
Right.
You know, not having any thoughts anymore, not feeling anything anymore. You know, like.
Yeah, my friend described it once as your life. There's a dot, and then the line, and then a dot, and that's the end of your life. And when he described it like that, I always thought how terrifying it would be. Like if there was nothing. I remember having these thoughts when I was a kid.
Oh yeah,
dude, if there's nothing after this, because there was like an incident where I thought I was gonna die. And I was in an ambulance and stuff, but that's all I could think of. Like, damn, like what if this is it? Like, it's all over. Like, you know. And at that time, I had no form of of beliefs in anything. So like, you just don't know, you know.
Yeah. Well,
it's a scary thought to face.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing that is hard to wrap your head around is like, well, why am I even here then? You know, if I'm doing all this and, you know, like it's just over now, then, you know, I mean, not that people don't think like of the impact that they have on other people. 'Cause I mean, I think at the end of the day, that's pretty much why we're here.
Right.
You know, we're here to be a community of people. It's not like, I mean, I'm me, you're you, you know, do your thing, do my thing, you know, like I think we're supposed to come together and like
we would never interact if that was the case. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we need to build a community and stuff like that, you know. And that's something that I don't really do, but you know, like it's a concept that really should be like that, you know.
You get it though.
Yeah. It's tough nowadays, you know, especially with the technology era, you know, like everybody's so connected but so far apart.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a wonderful time to get information and to be able to actually talk to people, but like to actually have somebody sitting in front of you and like, you know, getting those like just, you know, facial, you know, cues from people and like body language, shit like that. Like, I don't think people are getting that as much nowadays, you know.
Absolutely not.
I mean, phone's going off, you know.
Phone's going off.
That's exactly what it is, man. You know, everything is so easy. You know, like back in the day, you had to write a letter if you wanted to talk to somebody, like in the next town over.
Yeah,
you know, like,
and hope that they got it. And responded.
Yeah, you know, fucking horse and carriage. You know, you're like, oh, hey Bob, what's going on? See how you doing. Yeah. I'll hear back from you in a month or two.
Yeah. I'll get back to you when the sun giddy up. First album you ever owned?
I believe it was Papa Roach Infest.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's the proudest thing I would admit.
Yeah.
But you know, I was the new metal kid when I was young. You know, Korn, Limp Bizkit. You know.
Yeah.
I think my first one was Papa Roach, and I think the second album I got was the Marshall Mathers LP.
Okay.
Yeah. Which Kamikaze Man, what did you think about that shit? That was so
I loved it.
It was so fucking
I loved it. I'm a huge Eminem fan. The creativity, it was like he was great.
Yeah.
That was a great performance. The whole record was really, really super good.
Everything about it, you know. And I hadn't listened to Shady since like probably the Eminem show.
Yeah.
You know, like I just like once he got it in with like G Unit and 50 Cent and stuff, like it seemed like he started rapping less about like the, you know, fucking murdering people and you know being a serial killer and just crazy.
Well, what did you think of that record? Did you listen to Relapse?
I didn't listen to Relapse. I heard that it was really good though. When I got Kamikaze, I went back and I probably listened to the wrong album. I listened to Marshall Mathers LP 2.
Yeah.
It was trash. I couldn't do it. You know?
Wasn't into it.
No. You know what it was? There were so many songs that you just like. It was like classic rock remixes.
Yeah,
you know,
there was a lot of that.
Yeah, it's pretty much like the thing that I hate most about rap. You know, like, because I think that people hold rap to a different standard than like music. Because I mean, imagine if you took a classic rock song and just changed the verses, kept the chorus, and then just were like, all right, this is my new joint. You know, Dream on.
Yes.
Yeah, Ken Fox style.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like you get fucking, they'd be outside with torches, you know. You're like, burn that motherfucker down.
Yeah. No, that's so true. Relapse was super creative.
Yeah.
Ridiculously creative, because he played like a serial killer throughout most of that album. So it's from like that perspective.
Yeah.
I just thought it was brilliant. Like level 10 brilliant.
Oh, yeah. And I think when you talk about Eminem, that album comes up in particular.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't.
I don't think he liked it. He said that he used too many he inflected his voice too much. He used too many like what's it called? When you're changing your voice up. So it escapes me.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, inflection. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just,
Yeah.
you know.
I forgot. He described it so simple, and I can't remember the way he worded it, but he was talking about just like, you know, rapping like he was, you know, West Indian and then that type of stuff.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
But
he did some of that stuff.
Overall, the record was just great. It was really brilliant, man. I love that. So Papa Roach, that was your first go, huh?
Papa Roach, man, Infest. I remember waking up in the morning, you know, like, you were the cool kid because, like, that was your alarm on your CD player. You'd have it, like, start an album.
Yeah.
And that was a really good one because it started off subtly. It was just like, ooh, damn, you know.
How'd you realize that you were a musician? Like, at what point?
Well, I don't remember, like, exactly. I'd always been, like, the kid humming songs, you know, like, I remember making up my own songs for, like, playing, like, Mario Kart and stuff like that, you know, as a kid. I remember actually, like, making words to, like, the Rainbow Road song, you know, and singing along with it, and, you know, like, so I always had that, and, like, the sense of melody and stuff like that. And then once I got a little bit older, my sister was still is 4 years older than me. You know, she didn't get older than me or younger. You know, she's 4 years older than me. Yeah, and so she had a little bit more impact on, like, what I listened to when I was younger. You know, even then, like, I remember listening to, like, Red Hot Chili Peppers and stuff because of her, and MTV actually played music at the time. You know, so you turn on MTV in the morning, and I remember when the Beavis and Butthead Does America, what was that? The movie that they did. Red Hot Chili Peppers did that one song, and they had the music video where they were all animated with it, and I remember taping it and, like, watching it. That and Gangster's Paradise. I really liked that song when I was young too.
Yeah.
You know, monster hits. You know?
Yeah.
Honestly, at the time, that was some fucking good shit.
Fire, right?
Yeah. I remember Weird Al doing the parody of it, and, like, Julio was fucking pissed.
Yeah.
He was like, this is, like, a real ass, serious ass song, you know, about, like, the tragedies that happen, like, in the hood, you know. You're just like, oh, I'm eating a bunch of cheese, I'm in Amish fucking paradise, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny because my little sister is 4 years younger than me, and she introduced me to anything cool I ever listened to. Honestly, the Third Eye Blind self-titled record, Radiohead, most of the Foo Fighters stuff. I don't want to say I heard Foo Fighters from her. Weezer. The list is so extensive, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, her ear for music, like, she should have been in the music industry, you know, doing something.
Yeah,
without a doubt, because she.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All of the cool stuff I listen to.
I mean, like, not crazy that she's, like, a girl, but, like, crazy that, like, she was younger than you. Like, because I mean, like I said, my sister was older, so she had more of, like, she could actually go out and get this stuff, you know, like I couldn't buy a Korn album,
right,
you know, I
yeah.
was like 8 years old, you know, like she was 12, but like even then, like my parents didn't fucking care, you know, they're like, as long as you're not killing anybody, you know, like, you know, I don't give a fuck if somebody says fuck in a CD, you know, times were a little different back then, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is now for kids, you know. It might be worse, you know. I imagine kids now just like watch porn, you know. Like they've got their cell phones and they just do whatever they want, you know. But yeah, later on in high school, well, not in high school. I got my first guitar when I was 13 years old.
I remember you saying it was really young. Yeah, way younger than me.
Yeah, 13 years old. Yeah, it was all from Korn. I loved Korn. Korn was my favorite band when I was a kid, and just like.
Did you ever learn how to play their stuff? Any of it?
I
know they use those odd tunings, right?
Yeah, their stuff is tough. Not even so much the tunings as much as it is like they're so reliant on the whole band.
Okay.
You know, that like me just playing, even like Freak on the Leash, like you can't just go wham, 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 because you've also got the other guy going wham, wham, wham.
It's working together, almost like a hip hop beat would be constructed, like with counter melodies and stuff like that, playing off each other.
Yeah,
gotcha.
That's one thing that you got to give it to Korn and Limp Bizkit. Like I realized, like recently, Limp Bizkit was fucking tight, man.
Yeah,
you know, like for as much shit people give them for being like a shitty band, you know, like Fred Durst wasn't the best lyricist, you know. $3 Bill Y'all was fucking tight. He was dope on that. He came up with some really good fucking lyrics for that.
Yeah.
And then Significant Other, I think they just got kind of more like, oh, we're popular, and you know, like he just I think he got a little bit of a big head with that. But even the music on there, it was fucking, you know, I think the drummer was actually a classically trained jazz drummer. So like, and you hear that. Yeah. You know, you hear it in there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason they made it, you know.
I would say that about 90-something% of the bands that you do hear on big platforms, like there's a reason why they're there.
Oh yeah.
There's something in that band that's happening that's unique.
Yeah.
Special.
You know? I mean, I've worked with a lot of people, like you're not always tight.
Yeah.
You know, you're not always like on the same page with people, you know, like drummers are tough to work with, you know.
Me,
like,
I was gonna say you and Steve. We were tight.
Jesus Christ. Well, Steve was something else. Like he had the drumming, like he was a monster on the drums, but he was just such a fucking dickhead. And
but if you put him to a metronome, you know, you'd have to triple that speed.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember that. He liked to speed up.
Yeah.
He liked to speed up a lot.
Yeah.
You know. But he's a good drummer. But, you know, it's not really worth much if you can't keep time.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, fucking.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah, dude. How
many songs have you written?
In total? Like, my whole entire career?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's been a minute since I've written any songs. It's actually been a couple years, but whole career I'd say at least 100.
Okay,
got to be at least 100. You know, like I mean, if I'm throwing in like songs that I'm never going to even listen to again, you know, like 100 to 200 songs. You know, been doing it since I was 13 years old, pumping out, you know, 10 songs every few months. Right. You know, when I was real young in the heyday, you know, when you were just like bursting with creative juices, you know.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'd be putting out EPs, LPs, you know, the whole nine, you know. There's a couple albums that I actually scrapped too.
Okay.
In my 20s. I remember I put out a Colossal, which was, I think, we did Colossal in 2011, I think.
Okay. Yes, it was the year after. Yeah.
And then after Colossal, I was working on an album. Got the album pretty much finished. And I forget what happened, but I was just not happy with it. And I was like, all right, trash this. Did another album, which I think is the album that I have now. So it's been a minute, man.
Yeah.
I haven't really gotten to work on anything or, play anything,
Yeah.
just growing up, trying to be, an adult, and
Yeah.
it's rough.
An adult. Yeah, I asked Timothy Biggins, our buddy, the same question, and
Dubs White.
Yeah, Dubs White. He said he couldn't put a number on the songs that he wrote over the years.
Yeah.
And I echoed the same thing because it's not that I think the number of songs that I've written is so high.
Mm-hmm.
I literally can't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
No idea. Yeah. Even when I put a number on it, I'm like, well, I don't know.
Maybe.
Man.
Yeah.
It could be less, could be more. Like I don't think it'd be much more. I would say like 150 tops.
Okay.
Yeah. But there was a while I was making a lot of fucking music, man.
Yeah.
A lot of shit got swept under the rug too for one reason or another. Bad production quality when we recorded it, or me having a shitty voice at the time. Like it wasn't until like probably 25 or so that I started really like practicing singing and like doing like solfege and just warming up before I sang. That helps so much.
It does.
Like you don't even realize it. Even playing guitar, the warm up.
Yeah.
It makes such a difference. In just 5 minutes. You know, do re mi fa sol la si do. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
I would just go up. Start in this key, go up one, go up another one. Until like I couldn't anymore. Like it would get too high for me. You know, but that's good at expanding what you can do too.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like you start realizing like, oh well, it hurts if I do it here, so I shouldn't do it there because it should never hurt.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to blow your voice out. If you're not comfortable doing it, drop it down.
You're singing the wrong way. If you're doing that.
Yeah.
That is true, man.
Yeah. Dude, when I was young, I was the screamer too. I had that like, the new metal shit, so I wanted to have the melody, but also have the gruffness, like, and it still translates nowadays too, I still try to get that, I like having, the happy sounding, but then like a gruff spot, even if I'm doing like a really nice singy kind of song, nice and singy for right now, and then, it just
reach down into your gut.
It's just like a snap, just like an extra pop for the song, Not enough people put pops in their songs.
No, they don't.
Those just little accents, that just, just a grunt, a sound.
Yeah.
So
keep
much.
the people awake.
Yeah, you do so much with just like the tiniest thing,
True.
I mean, even people listening, I think at the end of, was it Butterfly by Weezer, last song on Pinkerton, like even hearing like the chair creak, and shit like that, it just adds character.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like it's real.
It's like now it's a song.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I seen you perform, it was actually around the corner from me here. I don't want to give my location away, but
yeah. Well, that business isn't there anymore anyway, so
Yes. But yeah, that was the first time I seen you perform, and I remember like thinking, wow, this is what performing is supposed to be. And I think everybody that knew us, because there was a time when all of us knew us in this area, the community. But I think everybody always felt that about you, like the performance was completely different.
Oh yeah,
that was like a different element to.
Oh yeah,
what you were doing.
I remember people just being like, because me as a person, I'm like more reserved, I'm not very like crazy, like I'm not the life of the party, spotlight on me kind of person, but like I remember people being like, man, when you get like up on stage and you're performing, like it's such a difference.
Yeah.
Because the performance was always, almost more important than actually playing the songs,
right? Like we talked about attitude.
Yeah. Your attitude going into it. Like, I mean, like I said, just making weird faces. Moving around, dancing and stuff like that. Like, You could have a great song. If you're a statue, then people,
they don't want to see that.
Yeah. I remember seeing Thrice, and they were very like stand there and not really move around, and like everybody's going crazy except the band, like, and I mean not to discredit them or anything like that, like when you're doing a lot of technical stuff, it's hard. You
it's can't
tough.
Move around while you're going, up and down the neck, up and down the neck.
Yeah, you can't run a mile around, the lead singer and being like, it just like, either you're gonna fuck up or you're gonna just fall down because you're paying too much attention to something. The mind can only do so much at one time.
Absolutely.
But I actually I've been trying to play more straightforward, just like chords and stuff like that. I used to be I was never good at soloing, but I always liked to have like a good lead, like just note sounds, bump 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 bump, instead of like brun. So it was a lot easier for me to move around when I just started playing straightforward, like C, G, A, and I think that helped me a little bit with my songwriting too. Yeah, because it's easier to focus, on where things are going next. Because I would get kind of muddled when I did like little solo kind of things. Yeah, you get like. It kind of confused me. Like, I wouldn't know where the notes would end, and it's like hard to transition back into playing chords from that sometimes, especially because I'm the only guitarist,
right.
So
and then you're singing on top of that. Yeah. That's a lot. Yeah, and you've always made like real intricate stuff. I mean, you're moving around a lot on the guitar.
Yeah.
In your songs. Especially the early stuff.
Oh yeah, the early stuff was fucking ridiculous at some points,
Dreamless Nights, Colossal.
Yep. Yep.
Even the group of songs that you played for me after that, and that was just live stuff, not recorded stuff. But
yeah,
there's still a lot of movement in those songs.
Yeah. Well, that was like, I always had this like, I don't want to be bored while I'm playing. If I'm bored while I'm playing, then there's something wrong. Yeah. Like that, and I don't like repetitive songs. I always try to stray away from having a verse, chorus, verse dynamic. Like I'll have times where I'll write something with intentions of it being a chorus, and then I'll be like, I'm just playing that once. That's gonna close the song out. Like
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I like that thought.
Good. That's how things are.
Yeah.
Especially when you first start writing, because it's like you'll have parts, and you be like, they're so interchangeable. No. Especially once you start adding more things to it. Like I always worked like that. I'd have parts of things. I'd have like, all right, this sounds cool as like an intro, and then I'd come up with the next part, and I'd be like, all right, well, that sounds cool as like the verse, and then the next part, and I'd be like, oh no, I like this better as the verse, and I like that last part better as the chorus, so things move around, and even like the intro can turn into a chorus, like you turn it into whatever you want, that's what I love about music, like for me at least, I'm such like a creative like person that it gets into my head, and it's all I can think about. Right. Like even now just talking about it, like it's weird too, because I don't get to talk like this or think like this very often. Yeah. So it's like,
how long have I been sending you messages about how many seasons?
Yeah, it was May. Every May, you're like, all right. Every May, I'm gonna be like, yo, Bill, you coming by to record that CD this year, right? Yeah, dude. Yeah. And I mean, years. It's probably been years of you trying to get me over here recording shit. Sad to say, but
one of my goals as a producer was to do a record for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I know.
So even before you did Quassel, I was like, well, I got the next one, you know?
Yeah.
And it's a shame that we didn't get to work on that together, because I think we could have, not to take anything away from that record, because they were great songs.
Oh, yeah.
They are great songs.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's what you guys released that as a free download.
Yeah, yeah.
And it did well, didn't it? It got downloaded like a good amount of times.
I mean, we did maybe like 200, something like that. You know, it wasn't like we didn't go platinum or anything like that. But I mean,
no publicity, no advertising,
word of mouth. You know,
that's it. There was no ads on that.
Yeah. And it was, it was free, so we kind of just had the mentality of, like, why wouldn't you get it? You know, even if it sucked, like, we're giving it to you for free, you know, we're a legit band, you know, like, we just want you to listen to music. It was never about making money for us, you know. I don't even think we had, like, a donation spot for it at that time, you know. We were just like, take our music, listen to it. If you like it, tell somebody else about it, you know, like...
If you don't like it, tell somebody else about it.
Yeah, you know.
That's a good thing too. Like, I don't think people look at word of mouth like that. You know, it's like if you hear it, tell somebody that you heard it. You know.
Well, I mean, and it was always, you know, especially around this area. I just remember people like trying to sell their 5-song EPs for $5, and just being like, that's disgusting. Yeah. You know,
you probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, like, who the fuck do you think you are that I'm going to give you $5 for 5 fucking songs? You know, this ain't iTunes, you know, you're not fucking, you ain't no Radiohead, you know. Yeah. Even their shit I jack sometimes. And they're like my favorite band, you know. Like, you don't always have money to be spending on, you know, songs. Like, that's always been like the way I looked at it. You know, I can't deprive somebody of listening to music. Yeah. You know, like, I'm not going to put that $5 to $10 barrier on somebody, like, finding me and really liking it, you know? Like,
that's what made me happy about the streaming sites. Like, at first I was like, you know, reluctant. I was like, do I really want somebody? Because you think about all the work that you're putting into it. Yeah. And then you just, in a day. Yeah. Whoever wants to listen to it can hear the whole thing and not pay you anything. Yeah. You know, and then the streaming revenue is minuscule and stuff like that. But what changed my mind was like making it so everybody could, if somebody enjoyed the song and they told somebody else about it, they could also enjoy the song. And they don't have to be sitting in the car with them. They don't have to be sitting in the room with them. It was just like, hey, click this link. Yeah, check this out. Oh yeah, and
Spotify.
That's the beauty of it. Yeah,
it's great. You know. Yeah, and I was always such a album type of person. Like, I need the album. I need to listen to the full album. Yeah, like. But now I'm more of a playlist person. Yeah. You know, I make my playlist. I listen to my playlist. I skip songs. You know, like.
It's crazy, right? Coming from where we come from.
Yeah, dude. Like, I was always the person that was against, fuck the MP3 players and shit like that. I want to listen to fucking, you know, I want to listen to the whole entire fucking album. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
I'm not skipping a song. I know. I was just listening to Evil Empire, which was like, you know, that was like my high school anthem. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's crazy, but. Yeah, I was listening to that the other day at work, and I listened to the whole thing through. I wouldn't skip a song. I mean, not that I ever skipped a song on that record, because to me, it's one of the best albums I've ever heard. Yeah, yeah. But you know, and that's how we like came up, like, listening to music. But now I think it's like it's a lot different, and I think bands understand that. Yeah. I think artists understand that not everybody's gonna want to hear every single song on the record. And it sounds retarded for me to say that as an artist. Yeah. Oh yeah. You know, because it's not like you make filler music on purpose. That's not a thing. But
you know, I also realized, like, as I've gotten older, like, we were talking about, like, time constraints and stuff like that. Sometimes I don't have time to listen to a song that I kind of like, but not as much as this other song that I'm waiting to listen to.
Absolutely,
you know? Like, so, I mean, there is more, like, I need more quality out of the things that I'm doing. Yeah. You know, which is different than when you're a kid, because you have the time to actually sit down and be like, you know, well, you know, this song isn't that great, but I always was like, it's part of the album. I need to experience it as a whole, you know. So if the song's not that great, the other songs being great makes up for that.
Right.
You know, so I can still enjoy this song knowing that everything else is, you know, up to my level of expectation.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah. You ever listen to Lord Huron?
Who's that?
Lord Huron?
No.
They're out of the Midwest. Actually, I think the singer might be from Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, but anyway, they make this really excellent, like majestic Western sounding, cowboyish music.
Mm-hmm.
It's like folk, but like with a kind of psychedelic twist to it.
Oh, okay.
But just think of you being on the most awesome, majestic hike of your life, and that's the kind of soundtrack that they make.
Yeah.
Amazing songwriters and stuff, but these guys are so good, man. I got to see them a couple years ago in the city with a buddy of mine. But their records, their first 3 albums, I listened to them front to back.
Yeah,
every one of them, because they're full stories. You know.
Yeah.
I think they even put out like a couple comic books or something like that to coincide with the last record.
Oh, that's dope.
But super.
It's like Coheed
awesome.
and Cambria.
Yeah. You should check them out though.
Yeah.
They're really good.
You know, I haven't really listened to much new music, man. You know, that's another thing too. Like, it's hard finding new bands. You know, and like all the bands that I loved growing up either disappeared or fucking suck now. You know, like there's very few exceptions, you know.
Yeah, people don't hang on to it forever. Most people don't hang on to it forever.
It's a shame too, you know, like
I don't think the Foo Fighters are very listenable to me anymore. No. I mean, I could listen to, you know, their other records, but like you know, they lost me on the Traveling album that they did. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure.
They were traveling city to city, recording in each city.
Was that? That's not Skin and Bones, was it?
No.
That was
Sonic Highways.
I don't know.
Sonic Highways, and then Concrete and Gold was the last record that they did.
I got
that was hard to get into.
I got, what was it? Dying Light, I think it was. It had Rope on it.
Oh, Wasting Light.
Yeah.
Wasting Light. That's probably my second favorite record from them.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
You know, I listened to that and I really liked that, but at the same time, it didn't sound like the Foo Fighters to me. Like, I feel like they've evolved too much. You know, that like they're not even what they used to be. You know,
I think because I think after There's Nothing Left to Lose, and I'm a huge Foo Fighters fan, so I remember all their shit. But after There's Nothing Left to Lose, I think they kind of went into a space where they were adding more of the band into the albums that they were making. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think, you know, what was next? In Your Honor. I think In Your Honor was after that.
One by One.
One by One. You're right. Yeah. One by One.
Which was a good album, but I feel like that was them starting to decline.
Yeah.
You know, that was like, it had the good songs on it, but there was a lot of repetitive songs too.
They were going through some shit when they were making that record. And I think they scrapped a whole album. They recorded an album and then they're like, no, this is not where we want it to be. They scrapped it and then they re-recorded. They were also working with one of their live engineers. He was producing at the same time for them. And I don't think that was a good fit either. Yeah. Because their records that they did with Gil Norton, which is who did The Color and the Shape, and Butch Vig, like later on, you know, with the Wasting Light record and stuff like that. They were phenomenal albums sonically, and you know, everything else. But the records that they did with the one guy, and that's no disrespect to him, but I just don't think it was a good fit. Even like sound wise, it just didn't. Yeah, it sounded choppy and you know, fucked up. Yeah, you know?
It wasn't their best, and I liked that album, but But yeah, after that, I didn't like In Your Honor, the double album, right? I mean, I liked the songs.
That was recorded in their new studio that they built at that time. That big ass 606 studios out there.
Yeah.
That's where they recorded that. I think they were experimenting a lot during that time.
I remember one of the first songs off of, I think it was the Electric album, sounded like a Radiohead song. And I was like, man,
did it have like a shuffle
guys.
drum beat almost?
I don't even remember, but I think it sounded like the hook off of My Iron Lung.
Okay.
I don't remember because I listened to like, it's funny how like I think I listened to the song like one time and I remember exactly what song it sounded like and I remember exactly why I condemned it forever, you know, but I never gave it another chance, you know. That's bringing back the whole entire why a rapper's able to get away with doing that, you know, like, and they didn't do it intentionally or anything like that. It's just there's so many notes you can use, you know.
Absolutely,
but in my head, I was just like, you stole something from somebody else. Shame on you, Dave Grohl. You know, you've been fucking in the music industry for 40 years, and you know you can't come up with a new guitar riff.
Yeah, there's only so much you could do at some point.
Yeah, yeah. And
I don't think anybody really hangs on to it forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. At some point, you kind of drop off. There's only so much you could do, man.
Yeah.
You know, there's only so many times you can, you know, come up with a new idea and have a new topic, or you know, even if you start writing songs that all sound the same, you know, like, you know.
I think it's Ryan Adams has. I was just looking at this the other night. He has 16 solo albums. Think about that.
Yeah.
He's only 40 something.
Yeah.
And he has 16 solo albums.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know.
You want to talk about being, you know, prolific.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, do you have any plans on branching out? I know, like, when you do write, like, you write by yourself or whatever, and you've always spoke about wanting to have a band.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a band setting, and that's how you wanted your songs to be displayed, I'm guessing.
Yes. It's more just I don't think I could do it acoustic, you know. Right. My style of writing needs drums, you know, like if I just did like a White Stripes drums and guitar thing, that'd probably be fine, but like I would prefer to have a bass too. Yeah. But the problem is like I am somebody that writes the songs. Yeah. You know, like and I always feel bad when I'm in like a band environment because like everybody wants to write together, you know, but
that's never good.
I can't do it.
That's never good for a band.
I cannot jam, you know, I can't just sit there and come up with a song on the fly, you know, like, and then part of it too is nobody wants to come to you with a song that they wrote. Everyone's like, let's write something now. You know, it's like, well, you know, have spent hours upon hours writing these songs. Yeah. You know, like if you want to write a song, do that. Yeah. You know, and then come here and then we'll play that song and figure out how to do it, but you're not doing that. You're just like, well, I've got this bass line. You know, it's like, well, that's not really anything. You know, it's just a couple of notes. Yeah. You know. I mean, and it's like, it's not to discredit anybody, but, you know, like, these are the tensions that happen, you know, like, it's tough, too, because not everybody wants to play the same shit all the time, you know, like, whenever I do, like, the band setting, it's pretty much like, well, we've got the songs that I wrote, and, you know, like, we could go over those, and, I mean, if we've got a couple cover songs, we could do those, you know, but, like, as far as learning new stuff, unless we're learning new cover songs, which I really don't need to or want to do, you know, like then what are we doing? You know,
what the fuck are we doing here, man?
It also brings the point of like, why are we meeting up for band practice? We're already tight with these songs, you know, like we could take a break, you know, we take a day off and you know, get back to it next week, do the same exact fucking thing, you know. It's only got like 24 songs or so to play, you know, we go over those in like an hour and a half or two, you know, it's like,
I prefer those practices now.
Yeah.
When me and Matthew King get together to rehearse or whatever, it's usually we run through the set, talk, laugh, run through the set.
Yeah.
All right, man. See you there.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like that's like nobody wants it to be over. Kind of. It's always like, well, what are we gonna do now? You know, like we still have time. It's like, well, we went through everything. Unless you want to go through it again, you know.
Yeah, I'm all about being efficient. So if we have the song down, then practice is over. You know what I mean? We're gonna go do something else that's gonna be productive. I'm going to go do something else that's gonna be productive.
Yeah.
Because you can't replace time.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that was probably the problem I had with the last band that I was in. It was just me and my one friend on drums, and we were good, man. We were getting really fucking good.
Yeah.
You know, but he was more like, hey, why don't we learn a bunch of cover songs? You know, like, let's make a set list and only put like 2 of your songs in there, you know, like, but that's, you know, not that that's the wrong mentality to have, because a lot of people do have that, like, oh, if we're playing a bar, nobody wants to hear all original music.
Right.
You know, but like, for me, it's always been more like,
and as a musician, you don't want to hear the bar.
Yeah. But I've like, not to sound cocky or anything,
So we're even,
I've always been like, my shit's good. You know, if somebody's hearing this and they don't like it, then that's their fault.
Right.
You know, so like, I don't need to play cover songs. If I play a cover song, it's just to show you how fucking good I am. You know, like, oh yeah, he's killing his own shit, but what happens if he plays somebody else's? Oh, he's killing that too. Oh, okay. You know.
Now I understand.
Yeah.
So true, man. So, who are your musical heroes besides me, of course?
Musical heroes, Ken Fox. Yeah. I mean, I would have to give it to Radiohead, the whole entire band. They're probably like the one band that has lasted, that has still put out like a relevant album within the past couple years. You know, A Moon-Shaped Pool just came out, like, I think 2016 or 17, something like that.
Yeah.
Not an excellent, you know, groundbreaking album, but it was
record.
Listenable. Yeah, I could listen to the whole thing, you know, like, I mean, like, and that's kind of what you expect at this point. Like, I'm not expecting Radiohead to give me another Kid A,
right?
You know, something that's just going to be like,
holy, my personal favorite.
Yeah. That are OK Computer, you know, those two were.
OK Computer was
fucking.
Yeah, we don't have enough time to talk about that, right?
Yeah, game-changing. Both of those albums, you know, and one right after the other, too.
Did you ever hear John Mayer's cover of Kid A?
I think so.
Unbelievable.
Long time ago.
Unfucking believable.
Yeah. It was weird actually hearing the lyrics, you know?
Yeah,
like
I know,
on the album,
it's
like, that's on stacks.
Yeah. What a, yeah.
But yeah, Radiohead, Conor Oberst, he's still fucking, you know, if he ever puts an album out again, I've been waiting on a Bright Eyes album for fucking a long time.
Yeah, he kind of like disappeared into the shadows. Like, I don't know what he's doing, but
he's doing a lot of side projects, I believe. He's with Despericiados or something is the name of the band.
Okay.
And I don't know. I feel like he's got a like solo project too, which I don't understand because he is Bright Eyes. You know, I don't know why you would need a side project from yourself. You know,
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah. But maybe just because it's like a little different than what people are expecting from, you know, that band itself. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so looking forward for, you know. So I think the last thing he put out was The People's Key. That was too long ago. I don't even remember. It was fucking mad long ago.
Yeah.
Like get with it, man. You know? But that's another thing too. Like you can't sit here and be like, you owe me an album. You know,
right.
Like if he never puts out an album again, like that's, you know, you did what you had to do, man.
Right.
You know, you gave us a lot of good shit. You know, if you want to drop it right now, because. I mean, that's the rock star style, man. He sings about it sometimes. Like if I give it all away, I would. Go out and actually have family, see my friends.
Right.
Not have to be on the road every single fucking day of my life.
That balance, which you can't have a balance when you're, still trying to live that dream out.
Yeah.
Make a record tour. That's why I give it up to the guys that travel that country circuit and stuff like that, because it is literally back to back to back to back to back to back to back. I don't even understand how you can have a family. Those dudes are rock stars.
Oh yeah,
because every year they're back in the studio, they're working on a record, and then on top of that, their manager's mapping out a tour for them to do. And then they're doing that tour, and then they're touring, and then they're touring. It's like that scheduling. I wouldn't expect anybody to love me at home.
Oh yeah. Like, oh, hey, Dad, I haven't seen you in 2 years. Fuck yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking no allowance this whole time.
Where'd you learn how to do this?
I got no shoes, Dad. Fucking millionaire rock star. Yeah. Kid's got no socks.
Still wearing the same pants that you had in first grade. Sorry about that, Johnny.
You're like, well, I mean, that's probably the mother's fault at that point. She's like, Mom's fucking smoking crack all day. Depressed out of her mind.
It's the worst when they do that.
Yeah. No. Yeah, the crack is the worst.
What are your interests outside of music?
Outside of music?
What are you passionate about?
I mean, it's lame, but video games. I mean, I've always been a gamer.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, that's the one thing that's like kind of killed me with music a little bit, because sometimes I'm just like, I'd rather play a game. Like fucking when Skyrim came out, it was over. It's like that. No music for like months. I gotta fucking get to the mages college. Fucking learn how to shoot fireballs out of my ass. I love that shit. Like games are just such a different thing than anything else. I mean, you take on a role of somebody, and especially now, the fucking things that you could do in games is so ridiculous, compared to like Super Mario, I mean, you go and actually live life in games now. Be like, all right, well, I'm going to go out and get a job and find a wife and, have some kids, get my tusk and, like, oh, what the fuck are you playing? Are you talking about what you're doing today? Like, like, oh, no, I'm just fucking playing.
Talking about Friday, right?
Yeah.
Nope, this is the game.
No.
Mom.
There's a game called Rumble, whatever.
So video games.
Video games, yeah. I mean, so much that I would love to develop a game at some point.
It's interesting because there's a buddy of mine that we're working on a game, a mobile app game, but a game nonetheless. We came up, and the concept is super easy, but we're almost there with it, where we're gonna put that into motion.
That's cool, man. And that's the thing too. Like, you say video games, and it's like, video games are just like, it could be anything. Like a board game that you play on your tablet. Like from that, from Pong all the way up to fucking like Dead Space, and even like the football games and shit like that. It's a game. You have actual video games that are spaced out like board games, like, oh, it's my turn to go, okay, now it's your turn to go, it's just interactive.
I play Pong with somebody on my phone. It's fun.
Yeah. Games are good, man. And like, I mean, for me growing up, it was always like a stigma, like, oh, you're the weird kid because you like playing video games. But it's, everybody's got a phone now. Everybody plays Candy Crush or like has Farmville,
something,
or, some shit like that.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's good, I mean, it's a waste of time, as you get older, you realize, like, I'm sitting here like, oh, I was fucking playing video games for 8 hours today, probably should do something else, I gotta clean the dishes up, and, like, the house is a mess, but, fucking built that shack in this game so I could hide all my fucking furs and meat that I collected from this boar,
Oh man. I only have a couple more questions, sadly, but ever tried Death Wish coffee?
Death Wish?
Death Wish.
No, what's
Not
that?
a lot of people are up on that.
No, I don't know what that
And
is.
they sell it at AirPods right now, but it's supposed to be like this incredibly strong coffee.
Yeah.
Incredibly strong.
Yeah,
It's called Death Wish. You got to look into it. It's expensive, but
I don't think I'm going to. Like if coffee is called Death Wish, like I already
you're
have
past that point in your life.
I'm past that point. I can only have like a cup or two now, bro.
We're seeing
like
the new side of Bill.
you know, like I said, I used to be coffee man. Drinking it all day long. I have 2 cups of coffee and my heart is like about to explode. So yeah, Death Wish, it will be the end of me.
So no aspirations to try Death Wish.
Yeah, no Death Wish coffee for me, sadly. Maybe if I was 10 years younger, try that out. I'm getting that old that I can say, 10 years ago, I probably fucking, ruined my life with, 500 times the caffeine.
Thoughts on drugs?
Drugs are great. Love me some drugs. The good ones, I mean, there's of course a time for experimentation with everybody, early 20s, late teens, but don't let it affect your life, don't get hooked on anything. Even weed, man, you start smoking weed every day,
You become addicted.
It's over, I mean, some people got it and they can function and they can like fucking get stoned and then go to the fucking IRS and pay their bills and not think twice about it, but
I think it's just scary for me, like with the passing of my cousin, but the whole fentanyl thing. Like,
oh yeah,
and like even the oxys, like and I'll probably have to edit some of this shit out, but
yeah, dude, it's tough because I can't sit here and be like, oh yeah, pharmaceutical companies are the devil because they make Oxycontin and shit like that, like they're giving it to people for a reason,
right.
The problem is people abusing the shit that they're given, you know. But that's also, like I think that everything should be legal, like you not that it should be, you get heroin at Walmart,
right.
but like it should have, less penalties for it, like I mean, if you decide to do that, then that's really not the government's problem. It's not, my problem. There's still going to be plenty of taboo around it, It's not like people are going to be like, oh, they legalized, dope, so, that's cool to do now. It's still going to be like, you're going to overdose and die.
Yeah.
Like
what I find interesting is that there are things in this country that are illegal and they find a way to stop them from ever coming here again.
Yeah.
There's things that were around years ago that are no longer around. And they find a way to stop that.
Yeah.
The production of it, its existence almost. And drugs, they won't stop it.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's the government and it's everybody else too. We love getting high. We love it for the spiritual purposes that some people get, even smoking weed and I mean, taking acid and like you want to get in touch with God. Take some mushrooms, bro. Like honestly, you start seeing your aura. You start like feeling the space around you, and like you're not on the planet. And you're like,
you're high.
If you're like, I'm not on this planet, then where am I? It's some cool shit, man. Like it's for kids. Drugs are for kids, people. You can't be doing that shit when you got responsibilities. I can't be like, oh, I don't know if I exist in this world, and being like 35 years old. Like, oh, I've got kids. Tripping face. Like,
what was your wildest night ever?
I don't know. I never really had wild nights. I never got too wild.
Same.
I mean, if I did get wild, I'd probably say like it'd probably be like a mushrooms or acid kind of thing, but not necessarily. Never
any naked freaking field beer parties, fights.
No naked beer pong or I mean, of course we did party and stuff like that, but nothing really stands out. That's not the important stuff to me, you know. Like, I mean, looking back on it, like, the times, they were fun, but, you know, it's like video games, you know. It's just an activity, you know, entertainment at the time.
Yeah.
You know, there are cool moments, you know, flirting with girls and shit like that. And, you know, like, you know, winning at, you know, beer pong or something, or giving your friend a stone cold stunner, you know, shit like that.
I think he's dead.
Yeah.
I had a lot of standard nights too, and then, but then there was like moments during those nights that were like wild. Like I got drunk and almost threw a woman off of a balcony. Yeah,
that's very wild.
Yeah, that's wild. I had moments, but never like wild nights. Like the night didn't continue, and I didn't go to jail.
Yeah. I've stayed out of jail, man. That's one crowning achievement that I've had for my life. You know.
Yeah.
It's funny too, because the one place that I worked like a year ago, all guys from jail. You know, all like dope charges, like, you know, petty theft. You know, I mean, like, not bad dudes, but, you know, like, dudes that, like, didn't care about authority and, you know, would say, like, fuck you to a cop.
Yeah.
You know. I remember we were all talking about, like, oh, what were you in for? You know, like, oh, I got caught with dope. Like, oh, what were you in for? You know, like, oh, I tried robbing a fucking gas station, you know. And then I was sitting there, I was just like, I got a traffic ticket once, you know. You got a rolling stop at a stop sign.
Yeah.
You know?
I got one of those last year.
Yeah. Fucking rolling stop, man. You know, I was stopped, but not enough.
Yeah.
You know, fucking. I'm one of those people that say fuck you to a cop too, but I'm too cute. I think that's what it is. I've got a nice smile, and, you know, everybody loves me for some reason. I'm just, you know, I don't get it, you know.
Fuck you. Well, you know.
Yeah. Well,
you don't really mean that.
Yeah, he seems like a good kid.
Yeah, guy.
Yeah. That's it too. Everybody thinks I'm a kid, and like, yeah, I'm 31. You know, like, I'm technically a man. You know, somebody asked me if I was 19, like, a couple weeks ago, and then they were surprised when I was like, I'm 31. They're like, no, really? And I had a beard and everything too, man. It's like, what do you mean? Like, I would get at least 20s. You know, 23. Yeah, you think that I could go to high school, like, got a sexy teenage daughter, you know, 18-year-olds, you know.
So we're gonna wrap this up. But my final question, and this is what I'm going to try to keep the theme at for the podcast, is what is your why? What do you find your purpose in, and why do you think you find your purpose in doing that? Whether it's like you feel you're called to do it, or it's just something that you're super passionate about, and the reason why you really do it.
Well, I mean, right now there's a lot going on with me. I'm moving to Florida within the month.
Right.
I mean, as far as like life is concerned, my why is just trying to figure out where my place is. You know, trying to get to the point where I'm self-reliant. You know, where I can support myself as well as, you know, support somebody else if I have to. You know, and honestly, just change. My why is I need some fucking change. I've been living in this spot for way too long. There's just, it's a stagnant area. Nothing's going on, you know. And also, I am hopefully going to get back into playing music.
Yeah.
You know, like, music has always been it for me. You know, it's got my heart, you know. It's honestly my first love.
Yeah.
You know, like, so, like, sorry baby, but, you know, like like more than a girl, you know. Like, you just, there's some connection that you just get with, you know, like, writing and the sense of accomplishment that you get from completing something, you know, and like, and just feeling like, man, not even like, man, I'm the shit, but like, I can't believe that I did that. You know, I can't believe that I came up with this string of words that means so much, even if it's just to me.
Yeah.
You know, like, I always liked to write in a way that things meant more than one thing.
Yeah.
You know, so like, because songs change over time. Even the same words, you know, mean different things at different points, you know.
Absolutely.
I write a song about this girl and, you know, her breaking my heart, you know, like years down the road, it doesn't mean that anymore. Maybe it's just about, you know, relationships in general and, you know, like how I feel about something at this time could still reflect how I felt back then, but in a different way, you know. So, I mean, like, it's something that, you know, passion or not, I'm just always going to do it, you know.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of times where I was like, man, I just wish I could just not play music anymore, you know, because it takes so much, you know. It takes your heart, it takes your soul, it takes your mind, it takes your time.
Yeah.
You know, and like, for me, if I don't have all of the time in the world to devote to it, then I don't have enough time to devote to it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a sad,
I totally get that.
it's a sad kind of predicament to be in, you know, but it is what it is, man. And right now I need to figure out how to just, you know, get back there while still doing all the shit that I'm doing now.
Yep.
You know,
Finding that balance. Yeah. And I mean, you know, I think the world definitely needs to hear a proper record from you.
yeah. I
know.
feel that too, you know. Even if this turns out to be my last record, you know, I need to get it out there.
Yeah.
You know, even if nothing happens.
You definitely do.
You know, if 20 years from now somebody listens to it and is like, "Wow, that shit's dope," that's it for me. That's all I want. You know.
Well, I want to thank you, man, for coming on and doing this. It's been an absolute pleasure and long time coming.
Yeah, I was happy to come. You know, it's the podcast thing's fun, man.
Yeah.
You know, it was good talking to you. You know, like it was pretty easy. You know,
Yeah, man.
I don't think we really struggled to get anything out. You know,
We go back a long time, man. So it's
yeah,
you know,
yeah, dude. But yeah, it was good. Thanks for having me over. You know,
Yeah, man.
I mean, hopefully we could do this again sometime.
absolutely. I want to get you to. I don't know if it will ever happen or how it will happen, but I'd love to get you to play on some of the new stuff that I'm doing, man.
Yeah,
I have plans for like 3 new EPs. You know, at some point.
excellent.
I have the songs. I just don't, you know, have the time.
Yeah.
To get them prepared, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
doing
dude.
stuff like that.
We could work something out, even like file sharing, you know,
Yeah.
send me something, you know.
Absolutely.
I mean, and I'll be around too, you know. I'll come back up for like vacations and shit
Yeah.
like that, you know. So
Stop in 20 minutes, hit record.
yeah. Yeah, man. Totally.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, America.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Thanks for having us.